budget, to see where we're under or over budget, and what the problems there. The only situation we've had on if you go back to page 18, we did have two budget violations. One was in the library fund, and one was in the law enforcement. And those are ones that you just need to watch throughout the year. A lot of times, especially in the library, we might pay extra money to the county because of valuation changes, and sometimes it gets passed to the library. But there's a couple reasons why that might happen. And I believe on the fire equipment, there was just some expenditures that were approved, not knowing about the budget. So we stress that you need to, as you make approved expenditures, that you watch that budget and make sure you don't go over those. On page 39, this is a fund that we have quite a bit of discussion several years ago. This is for cemetery endowment fund. This is money that you control, that it actually belongs to the cemetery endowment organization, and that money is for the maintenance of the cemetery, and so this shows that it cannot be used for anything other than those items for the cemetery. And it is their money that you're in control of. On page 40 is where when we're here, audit the library, and we included in your audit report, this is the current year and the prior year actual on the library, which is referred to as a related party or related municipal entity, which means that you have some control over that, and so we included it in your audit report. Comments that we always try to make on the audit was that we did recommend that maybe the receipts on the municipal court, that there might be a little bit better record kept on the transfer of the money, and I believe we did get staff on that. The other issue is that the city pays Christmas bonuses to the employees. Those have to be included in their W-2, and payroll taxes have to be paid on those. So that is something that normally we don't check everything every year that came up. It was one of our sampling checks, and so we did notice that was happening. So that has to be run through the payroll just like a normal payroll check. And, so that's something that we're recommending. Prior year, all of our recommendations have shown great improvement, so there's really nothing for us to mention about continuing concerns about comments we made in the prior year. So this city, especially whenever we make a recommendation or comment, that's usually really quick, and it doesn't reappear the next year, so that's a very good thing. Our staff does a great job. The administrator is very knowledgeable about what's going on, so that's a good situation in the city also. Would like to answer any questions that you might have. I know this is pretty exciting.
Any questions for Jim?
On page 3, it says, you did identify efficiency and internal control strategy in the company's schedule of findings. Question says item 26. Is significant.
That has to do with the fact that we're preparing the financial statements.
Oh.
If you know, we prepare them for all the cities and school districts, except for one school district, and they happen to have a CPA. And what we have to do, we have to make sure that the person who's doing those statements is qualified to do them and understands it. And so our recommendations was that possibly there was a course that was available on AMA, that if that was to be provided to your staff, and if they assisted in doing those financial statements, we've had some staff do those, then that efficiency. Most cities and school districts and counties just decide to accept it.
you had mentioned about capers.
Yes.
Is there anything that we as a city need to be concerned about with that?
It's enough that several years ago, the city, or the state of Kansas, when they had their review, they were downgraded on their bonds because they did not disclose to the public the condition of the capers funds. So it came about at that point that all municipalities below that, and it was on a big level nationwide, we had to start disclosing how much they were underfunded so that the city was aware of it. I've asked the legislators several times if they at some point would come back to the cities and say, here's your part, now you do it, or you levy additional funds to pay this. And at this point, it's not that. They're thinking that if there's good years with the market, or if it's managed a little bit better, or if the plan itself has changed. We discussed quite a bit about maybe changing capers from a defined benefit plan to just where it would be more like a 401k, where the individuals decide what they invested in, and if it goes up or down, then that's not an obligation to the manager. So I think that's maybe where they're tending to go. The rest, it's a good problem. So it's more disclosure, just so that you're aware. If everybody comes in and retires on one day, it's going to be a problem.
Any other questions? Jay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You got the floor.
All right, I don't know how I'm gonna one-up that, but I'll try here, for excitement. The East Main, again, you guys have seen, I just wanted to kind of get close to closing it out. We did do a final walkthrough, kind of a punch list walkthrough on Friday, so that's kind of where you just go through and there's a crack here, there's something sticking up here, or whatever, kind of create a list for them to come back and fix. So they probably got about 2 days worth of minor adjustments to do and those types of fixes, but all in all, the project's looking really good. They did a great job, I think, for what a contractor will usually do on seating and putting down the mat and that kind of stuff. So a few places to button up with that. Obviously, Ken will get working on the retaining walls, a little bit of retaining wall work we have to do along that project. So again, if you see anything or hear anything as far as people want something closed out, just let me know so we can get jumped on it. But hopefully that'll be closed out here really soon. It looks great, and a lot of people really enjoy the sidewalk, so that's been their favorite part. The FR clothing, I kind of want to bring that to your attention. A couple weeks ago we had approved a bid for the electric system side of the aisle, where they have more employees and a little bit bigger needs. So that came before you. I did want to let you know that we did get the FR clothing that was recommended by the study done by Mid-States for the power plant as well. That was a little bit less, it was like 4,000 something in my threshold, so I went ahead just to get it so we can get it going. It's the same type of stuff. They just wanted to go with a different company that would fit a little different for those guys. That stuff's kind of like using Aramark or somebody for your standard work clothes. Like everybody fits a little different, so they wanted to try a different vendor. So here in a few weeks, we should have everybody have all the gear they need for that recommendation. The West Side Park, I kind of want to give you guys a little bit of an update since it's been a while since we talked about it. We have received some grant money, potentially from Dane G. Hansen. We got about $5,000. So I think that puts us at a total between pledged by Rotary and some other groups. So maybe pushing about $20,000. I don't know, Bart, if that sounds right or not. I think that's about $15,000 to $20,000. So a little bit under what we want to be at this point. We're going to have a meeting tomorrow night to see if we either want to adjust the scope of the project or keep pushing on. So some exciting things. So things are moving, but it's, it's kind of trying to figure out what's the right size and the right fit for there. We're going to do some. The police chief's going to do some unique surveillance activities out there. We're getting a little bit of damage starting to start up on the bathrooms that we've kind of touched up here, and so it's made it for a few months. But we're going to do some things we talked about today. So hopefully you'll see some things on Facebook, and we'll see what happens with that. But again, just tell your friends and neighbors, keep an eye on it, and hopefully just kind of community policing will be able to keep that at bay. So the animal control update. So again, I kind of put it in my report that I sent out this morning. So if you haven't had a chance to read it, I understand. But the we are kind of working on, again, just trying to figure out, hey, what ways we can curb some things. So we've been talking about potentially kind of focusing on a little spay and neuter program, kind of talking to some different entities about that. A lot of communities to tackle their stray cat problem through a real aggressive spay and neuter program. And that kind of, it's a 1 or 2 year arc, but it really curbs it down because obviously then they can't reproduce. So we're kind of trying to figure out the ins and outs of that, and we'll bring those to you guys, and we'll let you know that we're doing that. The HEAL committee, that'll be something that'll be coming next meeting. Jesse Benedict with Schwab Eaton will be bringing that report to you guys. It's going to be really good. I'll give you a little bit of a look of it here. It's really neat. Kind of all the different projects and how he's got it, where they're at, what it looks like, the profile, and some of the cost estimates, the $4,000 or whatever he's talking about there. Kind of going through the study of how we developed it, kind of figuring out, hey, where can people walk to, how can they get there, where's the community fabric, so lots of exciting, it'll be really kind of a neat presentation, kind of what we've been talking about that whole time. It's just either through our project list that we're trying to develop internally or this, we're going to have those projects we just pull off the shelf when grant dollars arise. So he's going to be ready to roll that out to you guys to kind of get it massaged and hopefully adopt it here at our next, to talk about at least at our next meeting. So the North Campus Trail, again, Andrew kind of pointed out, we've seen that, it was cleaner, kind of worked up, so hopefully people can start using it and enjoying it a little bit more. Some signage should be going up here shortly, if not already, and should be back to pretty much 100% here. So for a few new sidewalk connecting piece, and we'll do some striping on the street, but it's starting to look really sharp for that. So the last two things is kind of go hand in hand, but we talked a little bit about slogan and signage update, and so I think kind of talking again to some other council members is kind of probably a nice dovetail. We had that strategic doing here in September 27th, so I kind of wanted to see what direction the community was going there, what everybody was talking about. So I think we're going to kind of build off of that as far as kind of getting that program going and getting something built off it, just in case there's some epiphany that happens at that meeting. Whether it's we're really going to focus on Chautauqua or unique things in town like Willard Schoolhouse, whatever it is, that we kind of want to make sure that we're not fighting against that, we're dovetailing to that. So I thought that was a good suggestion. So we're going to do that. And so that kind of leads us to what I'll let Heather give a sales pitch for, but it's the strategic.
It is sales
doing.
pitch.
Yep. So
Strategic doing. So I know you guys have heard, but I just want to reiterate again because it's such an important process. So the Dane Hansen Foundation has tasked each of its 26 counties with a new program. It's called Strategic Doing. And because of that, they've hired someone that comes in and mentors us while we do that process, and her name's Betty Johnson. She's out of Lawrence. She's a little spitfire. She's a lot of fun if you haven't seen her in action, but she will come and run that whole process for us. If we sign up, which we did, and commit to doing this program, they will guarantee they'll give us $100,000 a year for the next 4 years. So it's $400,000 that Dane Hansen will commit into Mitchell County for the Solomon Valley Community Foundation. The process is going to be an interesting thing anyway. It's kind of strategic. It's a strategic plan on steroids. It is a very fast process. It is pretty intense, but it's an easy way to get things done very quickly. So Betty will come and walk us through all of that. The very first kickoff meeting for that is September 27th at 7 o'clock at NCK Tech. I'm hoping that we overfill the conference room and we have to move into a bigger room. I'm hoping we have that many people. A lot of and you will be getting invitations as a council in the mail, but that is my verbal invitation to you. And it is a public meeting, it's an open meeting, so anyone's welcome to attend. It will be a very interesting process to see. It's kind of like any sort of strategic plan process. They'll talk about, what we really like about our community, what we'd like to change about our community, any ideas we have to go forward from the community. Dane Hansen has guaranteed that Betty Johnson will be here at least 3 more times after the initial time, to help walk us through that process. So in my mind, if somebody comes in and says, hey, we would like to do XYZ for Mitchell County, and there are this many people that are interested in doing XYZ, then they'll go through that whole process with us. And from beginning to end, if we commit, or if you have a group of people that are committing to doing whatever project it is, and they work that from beginning to end, then they can apply directly to Dane Hansen for some additional funding on top of the $400,000 that we're already getting. So because we're talking about all of these things right now, Little Red Schoolhouse, community building, signage, all of that kind of plays into what I see is gonna happen with the strategic giving process. It's a great process, it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. It's an incredible opportunity for our counties, and I would hope that all 26 counties are gonna take part of it. I really don't know that. I do know our neighbors have been very successful. Lincoln had maybe 60 to 80 at their first meeting. Jewel was the same way. They had 70 or 80 at their first meeting. I think they had 50 or 60 people at their second meeting. And they already have a punch list of things that they want to accomplish. So please attend, spread the word, attend, so that we would have this kind of turnout of people that are really passionate about it. Any questions about that? It's going to be an incredible opportunity. Yes, sir.
You said it's open to the entire county?
Absolutely, entire county, right. Because the way that Dane Hansen funds that money back into the 26 counties is through our local foundation, and so that one's the Solomon Valley Community Foundation. So they are the ones that are kind of setting it up, will be the host for that. The nice part is I've helped somebody recently fill out an application to go directly to Dane Hansen, and what I really liked about it is now there's a question on there that says, are you part of the First Impressions program, which we've done, check one, and have you taken